All right, everybody, let's give it a second here. We had an issue again. What's going on? We're back. Give it a couple minutes for everybody to get back in here, okay? Not sure what happened there. Let's talk this first. Everyone's coming back in. Thank you. Sorry about that. Hold on. Yeah, come on back. I don't know. We had another issue today. Let's see what's going on. Come on back. No, there's no replay. I had an issue with the Streamlabs. I really am not. I've not been pleased with the Streamlabs. We're back. What's up, Rich? What's up, Neil? Victoria, Austin, everyone else, Praveen, Jonathan, Hugo. Let everybody come on back. Sorry. Let's start over again. And that's good because we can take care of some business. Yeah, before I dive in back to Bitcoin, let's talk about just getting TradingView. Send your TradingView username to hpc at sr-analyst.com. And Chris will set you up for 2 weeks. I'll give away a couple 30-day packages today for everybody coming back in. Let's see an HPC 30. First winner of the day. HPC 30 will give you 30 days of this software and gold membership. We've had a number of folks try it out. Very happy what's going on. And I'm happy to give everybody a way to get into there. Jonathan Eder, you win. Jonathan, you've got to go over to the Discord and send me a DM with your email and TradingView username. Please do that, and then we'll get you set up, okay? Jonathan Eder, you win. I'll pop the Discord link in there in a second. Hold on, I'm gonna pop the Discord link. And anybody else that wants to join us in the Discord, by all means, you're welcome to join us. The basic chat is free, and try it. Yes, you win, buddy. Also, I need to say this. I've got scammers. Scammers again. I will never solicit you for money. Apparently, there's some guy from somewhere asking people for money, trading to trade. I do not do that. I don't do anything like that. Everything we do is with the software and the website. I'm a former investment advisor, but I do not do that. Considering it, but I would never solicit you for direct money. So if anyone ever asks you for money in my name, tell them where to go, and please send me their profile. I'd appreciate that. Let's let some more people get back in here. Great. Congratulations, Jonathan. You got it. What's up, AA? Cactus Leo, FAL. Thanks for coming back, DJ. DJ, I'll send you that email. All right. I already set that up. Let's talk Bitcoin. What's up, Rich? Yeah, no, look, can we get to this on BTC? And I've been talking about this the last few sessions, that it's not like it's end of the world or anything. I'm just saying, guys, we have to process, okay, and be unburdened by what has been, which was a massive 1618 extension. Right now, we've been waiting for this retest, and that's 91,346 in the short term. I imagine there's some buyers up here, but we've been talking about the whole weekly scenario. Come back to the 382. It's simply like this. It is almost the first law of harmonics, if you will, that if you go to a 1618, like which is there, 1025-ish, expect some kind of consolidation, if not minimum 236, which is 86, or full 382 retracement, which, that would be the best thing. Honestly, that would be the best thing to alleviate that 1618 condition. A lot of you guys know what I've been talking about on this stuff for a while. It hasn't materialized. It takes time. I mean, it's never like one inflection. And the big thing that I talked about last week, which is really critical to highlight right now, we have a yellow dot. The yellow dot is our HSI dot. It's related to this overbought signal, initially triggered way back in December, and then did the necessary divergence. Think of it as a HSI divergence dot. You retested the level, 1 and 2 bearish candles, and now down. Some of the things that we do with the software are to try to really graphically highlight, okay, explain it to yourself. Just look, what direction is HSI going? That's down. And I would favor it back down for a full oversold until that situation can be alleviated. And then the other thing is just simply, this is our amplified RSI. Think of it as our accelerated kind of trigger. And when we crack 50, then price will follow. And I still think it's contained within that 236 weekly 382, which would be nothing. It would be equivalent to what we saw back in August, and I've said that over and over again. All right, looked like Bitcoin might have broken out. It was a year ago, and I think you can even model everything that happened last year and project it forward. It's a really uncanny situation. The real thing is that, I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but almost to the week, okay, the pre-cycle move basically started the same week, 2023, October, and I mean the real liftoff to there. I won't do it here, but I encourage you to kind of look at those similarities. And with what's going on here, a normal retracement, markets move in waves kind of assessment. That's the deal in Bitcoin. You want to buy more Bitcoin? Well, I would say even in the short term, there is nothing here until we retest this bat pattern and you go back. There's 2 of them. That's between 91.3 and 92.7. I would favor 91.3. Those are minimums. That's great. Sorry about that. Let more people coming in. All right, looking good. We're good on sound. I think everything's good. How's everybody doing today? Listen, we're here Tuesdays and Thursdays. Hit the subscribe button so in case we have issues, you'll get another notification that it was just a mistake. Hit the like button, all of that, and then you'll get more of my stuff. I guess that's how that works. But a lot to talk about with crypto. And I'm going to be the first to admit that there's a lot of beautiful patterns out there. Things that I would normally say, yeah, this is absolutely delicious, but it's not ready. It's just something where, a pattern is a beautiful structure, a beautiful picture, but without confirmation, it's not an opportunity until we can signal that. So now we're still in this. What's today? Today's February 11th. And since the 1 bar reaction, 2 bar reaction, which that's all that was a week ago Sunday, we've just been grinding lower. And I don't expect much more than that. Other things to look at for sure. And, I'm not saying don't, just be dismissive. And I've done that before too, where I just kind of I get maybe overly one-sided, too negative on crypto. And we'll go through some charts. But in terms of like a full-fledged crypto party, we've got a lot of work to do. And I would even, say that as I started with the session here, before we got cut off, is that we do have confirmation, bearish confirmation. That's what that yellow dot is. It's designed to be super simplified. The red dot, that's kind of like your warning signal. But once we get that yellow dot, it's pretty much go time. We've seen that before. Right here. You go back to April 24. And it took the better part of almost 6 months before we really were rocking again. And I don't know if it's going to be 6 months. My guess is more like we're looking at June. So it's going to be kind of a grind, I think, for a few months. And that's not what people want to hear or see, but that's how I call on it. That's the read. That's what the software is telling us. And we'll stick with it. Hey, I'll be the first one to update that scenario if things change. I did want to mention that I am going to go ahead with this course, and it's going to be probably around March 20th. That's a Friday. I don't know if it's a 1 day or a 2 day thing, but I definitely going to do March 20. And how to get that, you buy the software or you subscribe to the site. We will work through the strategies step by step so that you guys can understand the entire framework. That's what we're talking about. And I think any methodology that you're talking about has to be able to define accurate levels so you're not guessing. So much narrative on the world, especially crypto world, and it sounds great. You get bombarded with positive messages, and it's, intuitively, the more those kind of messages and narrative hit our brain, we develop almost a false sense of confidence. If we're not measuring market movements, we're pretty much guessing. And I just want to keep it real with everybody. For right now, one of the things I really got to last week was saying that even the short-term pattern of this crab is back on. Looked like we were going to blow it out, looked really strong into December, could not get above the critical numbers where the top side was 115. And I will say that too. Like, if you want to see Bitcoin go crazy, I either need to see some kind of bullish oversold reading, would be great to get a pattern, or just wait for a crack above 115. I mean, this has got a lot of work to do. I'm still long some crypto. I'm still long Bitcoin. I have long-term positions that, even if Bitcoin does the larger retracement, I'm still going to hold it. There's definitely a portion of my portfolio that is kind of a hodl, forever hold on Bitcoin. But I'm going to call it, and I would probably look to add to Bitcoin on the next signal. Right now, this bearish crab on the daily, 96K, that's a big number. If we start to see this continue to drip down, I mean, look at the daily candles the last several days. Okay, not able to get above hop level. We're pretty much the same place where we were a week ago. And look for the breakdown. I think I thought we might have a bad weekend. It was really nothing, not much, but there was certainly no progress to the upside. And we will be patient. I will be patient. And again, we'll get to some opportunities and highlight them, but we need that essential confirmation. Even on the daily, check out the daily. Okay, some of the stuff to notice. This is our top indicator, Harmonic Strength Index. Guys, a really simple way to read it is HSI going down or up? And is it above the 50 level or below the 50 level? Clearly, last signal was overbought. It's trending down. Would be ideal to see an oversold reading, much like what we saw in early January. Okay, we were oversold in January, and that gave us another push. But look, double dot territory at 108. I've said for a long time, probably for 2 months now, that the larger range was 115 on the top side, 96 on the bottom, and like 2 weeks ago I said let's adjust that back to like 102.5 and 92 or 90K. The other thing that I want to look for, amplified to come down here, that again under the 50 level. These are readings, you're reading them like an odometer. Okay, are we revving higher? Are we, kind of rolling over? Still down. Really nothing here, no signal yet. That's the deal on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to probably go from being a frenzied environment for the last 6 months to something that's muted, consolidation, people desperately clamoring for narrative that won't yield much price action. I mean, we're talking buyers and sellers here. That's it. So 96 150, no big deal. Tachometer, thank you, cryptos. Well, odometer if you're watching out for radar traps, but tachometer, yeah, that's probably better. You know, I've had a few speeding tickets in my day, so I'm usually looking at the odometer. But so be it. And that's it. That for Bitcoin, great. The bigger kind of crypto sphere, Ethereum. I do want to talk about maybe some interesting ratio combinations. Ethereum, you guys know how I feel. And now I'm looking for Ethereum probably to do the surprising move, which is minimum 2,300 on this retest. How do we know? Really clear, beautiful T1 to T1 dollar sign rejected at 28.78. And I'm thinking not only 23, 24, I'm thinking this thing's going to probably try to flush as low as the hop at 1848. That would be something. That would really be something. But this price action, weak, extremely weak. And I'm not picking on it, but I haven't liked it. I haven't liked the development of price action the whole cycle on Ethereum. We would really need to see something like you saw down here in 22 or back here September 23, and the failure to break to all-time new highs. That's a big deal. I mean, that really is a big deal on the weakness of what Ethereum's all about. Dare I say that, that's a triple top. Okay, but maybe it's even something like this, guys, where it's, it's a very strange structure. The fact that prior high nominally took out the initial peak and failed is kind of a disaster. That's a really weak structure, and when I see that, I call that a failed harmonic impulse wave. It's kind of like you can throw down a 1618. I don't know. I mean, it's the structurally, this thing is horrible. Probably on the daily, it might be better to look at it like this. I mean, weekly, you get some strange projections, but we can trace out not only the crab pattern, but like this XABC, that's a shark structure. Okay, 1618 down to the 886. There is 2270, or even come back to the 10. This thing is low 2000s. Low 2000s until further notice. The other thing I wanted to show is you look at the ETH BTC pair spread, if you will. A lot of people saying, hey, this really has moved down and maybe there's a great pattern. There is, but another situation where we don't have confirmation yet. It's like that. And it's a bat pattern right down here, 2345. But look, we're now hitting oversold territory. So for ETH, that just another way to look at it. Pressure on ETH versus Bitcoin. Maybe 2345, maybe even lower. We've got there you go. The monthly. Okay, the monthly it's a beautiful Gartley pattern. What's the problem here? This is something that I will address in full in this course in March, being able to how to read that, because there's certain things we need to look for. Software is kicking out a Gartley. Beautiful alignment, where the first time to look at that was back in November, but no confirmation. And then look, just A lot of times it's just assessing in a step-by-step manner. You got the pattern, you have your confirmation, and then look, indicator is just diving. Let's just blow that up for a second. All right, there's no confirmation. There's November, deeply oversold. The keys that we're looking for after a pattern completes is a really clear confirmation indicator reading that is not only out of the zone, but usually above the 50 level, or at least pointing up after an inflection. And if you go back, look, go back to here at the top. That was back in May 2021. You had a big push on this ETH BTC pair on the monthly. Did not come out of the zone until months later. And then it really didn't start to fall. How many months is that? It's a year. From May 21 until May 22, you had a year of this consolidation before the trigger was really released to get a move like that. That's our goal. Use the framework to define levels, and then use the indicators and link it up to on the exact price bars to get that acceleration, so that we avoid drawdown. We avoid drawdown in terms of money and time. And this is still trending hard lower monthly chart. A lot of these look like that. It's not what I want. All Gartleys are not the same. That's a nice one, Saint. All patterns are not the same. I mean, you can have a great pattern, and I think this was one of the things for me. The big discovery was initially decades ago was what's a Gartley, what's not a Gartley, and most of it was determined by the W or M structure. Where's the B point? Gartley is a 618 within a specific tolerance, but you still need specific ratios, A, B, C, D. Great, you got your zone, you got the level, but then you need to have some confirmation. I talked about years ago in the volume 2 book about RSI. And let's go back really quick. Anybody that's here, we've had a lot of new people with a lot of new questions. And I encourage that. I encourage you to get to me on the Discord and get over here. Here's the link again for anybody who wants to join me in the Discord. DM me with your questions. That's going to be the easiest and quickest way to get back to me. Of course, you can email me, but all the material is here on the basic members page, including the books. And the book I'm referencing right now is volume 2, where we look for confirmation with pattern structures. So check that out. All right, that's volume 2. And there's that harmonic impulse wave that I was just referencing. All right, looks like this. Where you go? Yeah, like that. Look, you get the failed wave. This is what, some chart from 2007 XOI. But you get that failed wave up and then throw down. There you go. So join me there over on Discord, get the basic members, and of course, as always, free trial. Free trial to everything, guys. It's just so much easier for people to come in and have a basic understanding of what we're doing instead of just signing up blindly. And I do encourage you to take the 14 days and let the light bulb turn on, and more, it will get clearer over time. A couple of Ethereum related crypto I want to get into. ETC. ETC, Ethereum Classic, had lots of patterns coming in, and now we have another one. And here's a great example. We had this bat pattern from back in September. And I like Ethereum Classic because proof of work. I think proof of work is a lot better than proof of stake, but we still don't have confirmation. That's a perfect type too, and that pattern has all of the aspects that we look for in any pattern setup. Like first, it's a reaction. Okay, then you come back down and you have the retest to confirm the pattern. But what's the final piece? You need confirmation. Now we're there, Ethereum Classic. But it's still early. We're hitting the oversold level. And just I have to be clear because I think there's some points that are essential so that people don't just rush out and be like, all right, Scott said this is a type 2 and it's a good idea, so I'm going to jump in. No, we're not there yet. This has to come in this week, give us the inflection next week, and then we really can start looking at it. Also, what do you notice about amplified RSI? That's down under the 50. This is early. Why I don't like going in early is the drawdown problem, where you could try to buy it at the XA level, but chances are we overrun the zone a little bit and take 3, 5, 7 weeks even to do the full inflection, give us the dot, all of that. These are the realities of how harmonic patterns unfold. The levels are amazing. Okay, the levels have been great. They have served us well, but some of the finer points of confirmation are essential to success. Probably one of the most common mistakes is jumping in early on a lot of these. And then you go through that drawdown. And then you're like wondering like, what the heck happened? I'm down 20%. I mean, if we hit 17 again, and let's say we go to 15, you're down 15%, put 1,000, put 10,000, I don't know, into that. It doesn't feel good in any aspect, where you could eventually be right, but you have to go through that process of stabilization. It was that one, and then the other one was Ethereum name service, excuse me. Another one reaching, getting oversold, getting close, and then we have this. Where is it? Where's the bat? I had a bat pattern here. Hold on. Really quick. On Ethereum name service. Had it. Maybe not. This might have been just confirmation. Either way, it's early. Getting closer. But, up here, that's 50. Down here, we're 25. Okay? Be patient with this stuff. There's the daily. Even the daily needs an oversold test. I don't know. I thought I had a bat here. Maybe it was on the... I'll come back to it. Let me revisit that Thursday. I want to keep it moving today. One or two more. Let me jump to total. Total 3. Total 3 crypto index looks like this. This is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay. We do have a counter trend dot. We have a type 1 crab pattern. This is more of what Bitcoin kind of where it is of Bitcoin's kind of like up here relative to its crab pattern. Okay, target 1 down there at 781. I'm watching that. I think that's an interesting market. You take out Ethereum and Bitcoin, or the other one is the others index, which is like this, and that's all this is the T coin index. And look, we have a bat pattern on others index, but we're still early. We need that confirmation. No doubt, it was pretty amazing 886 reset, which is something else common for a lot of moves in crypto. But now we have XA level. That's 219. You're 267. I need to see some confirmation generally in that area. It's not there yet. Didn't trigger. That's the daily. Where's the weekly? There it is. Weekly's like that. You see what I'm getting at? Okay, guys. Even if you wanted to be super bullish, which I'm not trying to discourage you from, being completely negative on crypto. I'm just saying the biggest part about trading is trading the market when it's ready to be traded. That's a lot closer to an oversold condition. But last week was like week 1 to consider that since the last overbought reading up here. All right. Again, I'll be the first one. I'll be the first one to say, guys, I got the readings. We got some dots. HSI, some other things are moving in the right direction. I'm just saying, okay, we can get closer to monitoring situations, but it's not there yet. That might be a one more, three more bars. This is a weekly chart. Be aware of those dynamics. It's going to save you a lot of money. It's going to put you in the right spots. Yeah, all right. Yeah, it needs more time. Here's one that is, I think, is definition for all of these meme coin things. SHIB. Okay, SHIB. A lot of people talking about it, and a lot of people talking about meme coins that they're oversold or they completely collapsed. SHIB is another one that's down here in the oversold territory. A lot like it was. You go back to June, July, we had the inflection, but where was the real turnaround? I mean, you recorded the oversold reading around July, but you did not really start turning around until September. 2 months, 3 months, that's the same kind of a thing. You know, I don't think meme coins are going to do much more in their history than these strong impulsive moves when they're ready to go, where you get oversold, you grind sideways for a long time, and then you pop up. I mean, that was a 2-week move and it was done. You know, after going sideways for 15 months. Be aware of that. Also, the standard technical analysis consideration here is the fact that on the last run up, we could not even get close to taking out the 2024 high. That's not a trending asset. I mean, there are certain things to be looking for. You want to be in trending assets. Makes it a lot easier to buy on retracements. That is not one. If you were looking at it, let's say you knew something I didn't, I would still say under any circumstance you need 2-3 weeks before that even is out for consideration. Yeah, a couple more. Sure. You guys want to post a couple symbols? I'll go through them right now. Let me scroll back. What's up, Pete? You want to do a drinking game next time? It would have to be a little later in the day. Yeah, let me start from the top. What's up? XCN, that's that Onyx coin, right? That's the one that was the 20X I missed. I talked about that, and I was like, yeah, this thing's kind of interesting. Looks like this. I don't know where you got in. I mean, that's cooked. That's cooked. Okay, here, and daily chart was like this. I had talked about this back, I think it was December, and there you go. I mean, where's the pattern? I think it was the shark, but there was something left here. Some patterns looking left. Let me go to this chart. Yeah, it was this back-to-back. All right, so, and I completely missed this. I was like a deer in headlights watching that thing fly. It was 0.2 of a cent or even 1/10 of a cent back in October. It went bat, shark to 5.0 and then absolutely exploded. I mean, it was, I think the thing that I was looking at was this back-to-back phenomenon, and then it was a shark to a 5.0 with confirmation, and then just went ballistic. I can't offer anything at this point. I mean, that went from there to, what was it, 3 cents, 4 cents? I mean, low to high, 30x. But that's it. I mean, it's a parabolic spike. That's really common with a lot of these crypto. They do a parabolic spike, and even I'm going to say, even with this kind of a thing, it's super common just to have an 886 reset. I mean, you could go you could go B here. That would be almost a Gartley with a B point within the tolerance, and then something like that. I mean, your 2.2 cents, that means nothing to me. Where can you draw the W structure? It's probably down here. There's a lot like that. Yeah, a few more. Yeah, Neil, what's up? Yeah, Bitcoin to the high 80s. I would think so. I would think even lower than that. Ideally, if we got Bitcoin, my low end max target would be 73K, guys. I know that's crazy, but that would be the ideal next step in the process. What's up? Fear and Obey wants to look at Litecoin, and man, it looked great for about a week, right? It's not bad. The 121. I haven't looked at this in weeks, but I am surprised that Litecoin is still all the way up there above 100. I would think that would have been all the way back down. Let's look at it. Yeah, not a lot. Bearish confirmation here around 110. That was last week though. 108. A lot of people are big believers in Litecoin, and at least that's held up. It's a beautiful long-term base, but not even a 382. It's like this. And I think we looked at Litecoin a while ago where our assumption was, can we get to a 382 minimum? That's like 180. What's that, a 236? Yeah, 236 is like 130. That's probably it for now, especially in the face of that yellow dot. That yellow dot right there, that's a bearish dot. And what's HSI doing? Just came off. Yeah, even here's your daily on Litecoin. You're back to being overbought a little bit. I would love to see that really do something. It is impressive. I will say that unlike a lot of crypto that already have done 886 retests, at least that's holding up there. Don't know. XRP for Tim Tom. What's up, Tim Tom? Been a while. What'd you do for New Year's? You haven't been around for a while. XRP, guys. Again, another one where hell of a run since the 60 cent situation that we were really pounding the table on. I mean, we were down here with XRP, and a lot of you guys know that I said someday this thing's going to realize a sizable move, and we always thought maybe target 2 at 132. It went to 340. All right, and long-term target, something I need to clarify on. Okay, a lot of the targets that cycle targets, for example, XRP to do a mass peak cycle target, that's right there is a 1618 off of the pattern. Not bad. It's kind of like Bitcoin. And then came down, did almost a 50% correction. And I think it's better to be more reliable, maybe a better word, measure off the pattern. That was a 50% pullback, exactly around 180. That 180 has to hold forever going forward. You would never want to see it break that candle. If you did, we'd have to talk about much lower prices. For now, you're just trying to digest what happened really the last 3 months of the year. We did have the crab pattern. I mean, it was almost ideal. Kind of tight because you can't really see it. You had this reaction down and then straight back up. But look, there's the dot. That dot, undeniable to take you to target 2. I am out of all XRP. I bailed out a lot of it in early December. I was pretty clear about that. I held on some probably too much longer. And I would need to see another dot, guys. I just with everything that I've worked through with the software and crypto, So I would say that has more work to do, without a doubt. I don't expect much on it. I do think it's a top crypto asset that some people are hodling that forever, but that's not what I do. I just can't go through. I'm if I can identify a situation where I say, hey, that's going to do a 382 retracement or more, I don't want to be a part of it. And I've made mistakes, did a lot of great things, especially I feel like we did about as good of a job as you could possibly do identifying the turning points since August, September, and then the real acceleration that happened October, November, and then even getting out. I was pretty clear on that on X and here saying, look, I got out of like 3/4 of the position. Maybe should have dumped it all. But I'm waiting. What am I waiting for in terms of being able to go into XRP would be the next pattern. Just simply stated, give me a bat pattern, give me something. Let me put up so in the software, just to show you guys, I don't normally have the pending or potential patterns because I really like to deal with completed patterns, but mark those two on. And they will show you, and maybe not in here, but they will show you potential patterns as they're developing. I think usually there's plenty of time with completed patterns, but let me see if I've got something here on a 4-hour where it can show us. No, nothing potential. Even the 4-hour here, we are oversold. We are overbought right now. I mean, literally, that last candle that was about 2 hours ago, 2.5 hours ago, that was our last HSI signal that was overbought, and maybe back down a little bit, but look at the last three: this one, and that one on the 4-hour. So I don't have anything at the moment that would be say, hey, it's go time. If anything, we're looking for retracement patterns, opportunities at lower levels with clear signals. And then the final part that, one of the easiest ways to really read a market, look at your top indicator, HSI. Is that up or down? 4-hour chart, heading down. We would, even if I wanted to be bullish on XRP, maybe a week ago or right before the weekend, we had HSI trending up. Price did not really follow that much, and that's kind of weak. But right now, clearly pointing down. I mean, I don't like to get into fighting that type of movement. It's just where we are. I know the fun stuff is more on the upside for sure. It really is. I mean, it was a lot of fun. That run, October into January, was amazing. But now we're just part of the other side of the market. You got to go down to go up, and you got to go up to go down. Do I think the alts, what's up, Incredible? Do I think alts will still make all-times high like Fender and FET and Akash? I think those have been some of the most disappointing. Render's interesting. Render, in terms of harmonic pattern framework, okay, Render has massive weekly patterns where it did the type 1 and there's the type 2. How many of these have we seen? Guys, these are beautiful. These are beautiful patterns. Oh, and this highlighted kind of that white pattern structure, that's a potential larger structure showing lower, but I think it confuses. I'm going to remove it. I like to deal with just completed patterns. Those are usually the tightest. Look, there's the type 1, target 1, 390. Type 2 hit last week. What do we need? Confirmation. Where is it? Oversold. You're hitting right now. So that's not a bad spot to be looking, but I would think you need at least another week of work before that whole level is confirmed. And Again, it's about avoiding drawdown. No need to sit in that. It's a great pattern. Okay, it is a beautiful weekly structure, but is it a trade opportunity? Not yet. The beauty of it, though, is understanding software is telling you it's a T2. That is a type 2 reversal. That's a type 1 reaction. So you see T1 on the software, you're looking for it to go to target 1 at a minimum. We know crypto has been going to target 2 quite a bit, but here's T2. Now I need to see like another dot like that was there. That would tell me it's ready to go. It's not ready to go. And we're, 448 right now. XA level is 390. I'd be looking in this area maybe in the next few weeks. And that is still I think the probable expected movement. Will it go, to answer your question, all-time new highs? I can't answer that. Within harmonic pattern framework, it's a beautiful opportunity to go to T2. Beyond that, you'd have to wait and see. What was the other one? FET and Akash. I mean, been long Akash, sitting on Akash for a long time, and it's not doing anything. And we scooped that. I kind of round tripped Akash, not like I wanted to. Here's FET. The thing about FET is we did talk about waiting for FET, and even when it was all the way up here around $2, looking for the type 2 at XA level at 101, and there's confirmation. Maybe another way to think about this, I mean, look, beautiful Gartley, kind of the same one as Render, but now you have back-to-back patterns. FET at 73-ish. Let's look at the zone. That's a great opportunity here. It really is. And the retest, everything that happened, what was that, 3 days ago? Right around 71 cents. And we are that precise on kind of measuring these zones is critical. It might not be a bad shot. Let's look at, all right, here you go. And this is a good one to look at because there's a lot of nice aspects to this bullish setup, meaning you're above the 50. HSI is pointing in the right direction. Great. What's the only thing that hasn't happened yet? Down here, amplified, just coming out in the last 2 days. I would really like to see that get above the 50 level. Down here, let's blow this up. Another consideration. And a lot of this stuff I'm going to really hammer home in this course because it is a step-by-step walkthrough. There are exact things to be looking at. In this case, there was the pattern, and we had a type 2 pattern that preceded it. So we knew we were waiting for $1, but where's confirmation? Because it hit the zone, initial HSI, but there's the dot confirmation. That's down at 72 cents. And that's exactly what I mean, where you could say, oh yeah, FET, I hear so many good things about it. And I'll just buy it at $1, nice round dollar. Now it's 75 cents, you're down 25%, and it's not feeling too good. Well, here's the opportunity. The opportunity is a little bit lower. Did that hit the hop level exactly? No. 59.72 was the hop, 60.5 cents was the low, but we deal in zones, okay? And we let the zones get hit, we look for confirmation, and we let some of the price action really tell us. Even if you were waiting for the pattern to hit with confirmation, where's the first bullish candle? I mean, you could say there, or even after the confirmation, the yellow dot there, the next candle. Okay, those are early signs, but critical signs that, hey, this has got a chance down here versus no confirmation at $1. And I'll take a peek at Akash. I know that got under 2. Like this. Akash network. And it's 190 with another pattern back down. Akash probably the most disappointing of the AI. It really didn't yield much. We talked about Akash all summer long. Off of the bat pattern, I think there was a weekly. No. Where's that? No, it's here. Look, you have the bat pattern. That's what we were going off of all last summer. And then what happened? It went from bullish pattern to bearish pattern off of a type 1. Those are really critical signs. Like if you're in a type 1 reaction and it forms a bearish pattern going up, that's like flashing red sign, like time to bail. Otherwise, it would blow it out entirely. It didn't do that. I mean, you had, where's the dot? There's the bat. That was November. And then you still had 2 or 3 weeks to bail at these levels. 436 was the XA. And when I'm looking at levels, I'm letting the software tell me exactly where. Now, we're down here at 196 on Akash. I still need confirmation for that to be a next opportunity. Got really close there, though. A couple of things that catch my eye. Hopeful. Can that get above the 50? It's not. It may be today trying to flash it. This is going to be a good one. Hold me to this, Incredible. Maybe come back to this on Thursday, because this is also a good sign where HSI is showing some hope preceding price, and we would still want amplified RSI to make progress. This stuff's got to be moving in the right direction. These are leading indicators with the pattern. But until then, I'll wait. Not ready yet. Yeah, the AI coins, again, the AI coins were hyped and nothing. I mean, they were all type 1s. Neil wants to look at SUI, and yeah, this is another one that was, you know, I was thinking if it could get above the 550 level, this thing could really go. Got rejected, but we have another pattern, 322. No confirmation yet. What's this on the weekly? Thought this was something here. The weekly, yeah. Probably the takeaway from today's discussion is that we are oversold. We're seeing a lot of this on the weekly. We're in the oversold HSI. We're trying to pivot out, but it will be this week to resolve that. That's, you know, and this is look, SUI has made remarkable progress. Remember the patterns back in August? Remember these patterns? It was like a shark down there. 46, went for 10x and then came back. Longer term, SUI, I think is in a much better situation than most. You know, you're holding up the gains, even though you have corrected. Is that? No, it's not quite, almost 50%. But it's definitely well above the August lows. And so, I would look at that. You know, that would be one. Someone was asking, do I think AI coins will go to all-time highs again? Something like SUI very well could. I need to see confirmation, though. There's got to be something there. And at this point, with the weekly being in that spot, it'll come a couple weeks. Like that's a big development right there. And you can look at what we saw back in August there. That's exactly the kind of thing you want to look for. Let it trigger, get the dot, and then look for it to go. Because remember, like SUI crossed that 50 line. So this is all development right in here. Okay, and look at where HSI is. It's here, coming out. You're spending weeks just stabilizing. Where's the real acceleration? That's what we all want. We want to be able to identify the level of support and then be in there when it's ready to rock. And look, it cracks the 50. That was early August. And then it started and goes from 50 to overbought above 886, went to the 100 line, and then some. But that's where we want to be with these kind of moves. There, and even the prior one, when SUI was launched on Coinbase, it came out, they sold it off, they cracked above the 50, and you got a really nice run. Those are the segments I'm trying to identify every day, every market. It's a better one than most, but let's come back to that. I'd call it a week. A lot of these are going to be a week. A couple more. What's up? Yeah, I mean, what's up, Fear? Asking about the ETF and Litecoin. Yeah, but again, coming back to look at the levels. Litecoin is surprisingly bullish, but I'm just not there yet. I mean, I'm not. I would need some concrete signals. A couple more, and then we got to get to some stonks. SPA for what's up, Lawrence? Sperax. This was one that took off, right? Took off, came back down. Not a lot of follow through. We got to get this daily oversold. Any of these that did a pop of a run, I mean, that was a 3x just from January to what? First week of February. It's got to come back. You're so close to getting this oversold reading, and that would be the next jump on point for me. I did catch that, and I bailed out pretty quickly on that. That was one that did the move, came back, wait for it to get oversold one more time. Yeah, and okay, your other one, Alchemy Pay, that was one we talked about for a long time. Huge move, and look what it did. It had back-to-back patterns. Now it's back down. Look, remember the bat pattern? We talked about this one. This was on my list. Okay, and check out what it did. Type 1 all the way up, came back down. I mean, off the 886, or excuse me, the ABCD on the bat. It wasn't a full type 2, but you had confirmation with going shark to 5-0 like that. But what happened? It was a type 2 and it rejected. That was an amazing move. I was not long this. I did not play this. But I think it's, again, the pattern levels really caught a lot of this movement. And that's not easy. I mean, you go from bat to target 1, that hit target 2, actually smacked back down. I was kind of, I had watched this do that initial move, and then I was really surprised that this was ever back down 2 cents and went 2 to 5.5, back at 2.7 again. I'm not there yet. I mean, maybe with all that pattern dynamic, I would look at it, but check out what's HSI telling you. We're still deeply oversold. That would need to pop out of the zone before I consider it even getting in the right direction. And I think there's some weekly stuff here. Maybe it's maybe it's Binance feed. Hold on, I do recall that this was, this might be a type 2. Where's the pattern? Maybe I'm confusing it with something else. I thought it was a type 2. Nothing yet. I mean, that's a really nice basing formation. But these impulsive moves, it's all crypto. Clearly, you get the 5 cents rejected, 5 cents rejected. I would wait. You're 2.7 cents. I would probably say it's back at 2 cents. Just for, joking around here, let's look at Cardano. Haven't looked at that in a while. That was one that I did catch on a return move. Where was that? On the daily. It's like that. Okay, we're catching that at I think it was this. Oh yeah, it was this. We had this really quick type 1 reaction on the crab. You couldn't even see it. And the big target on Cardano was 130. It was up here at all-time 382. And that was a really good one. Almost cutting it too close. I mean, it was like, man, some of these hit these targets and then rejected so firm. It's like that, and then the 382, perfect, 130. Go to my Twitter feed. You'll see what I was saying. Go back to December. I mean, we identified this stuff in like late October, November, and then come December, I was saying that was it. 130, look for the pullback. What happened here, and Cardano had a chance to really do something. It rejected that 382, came all the way back down. I don't have much at this point other than this shark pattern right now. I mean, it's just a big impulsive move down at 50 cents. At this point with that kind of structure, 75 doesn't mean anything to me. And we still need to retest like 66. Not much there. Yeah. Andrew 3 says it's time to trade eggs on the street. I agree with you. It's time to get some chickens in the backyard. I'm trying to convince my wife. She won't let me, though. Even before this, I've been wanting chickens. And that's probably where I'd be. If I had my choice, I'd probably be on a farm somewhere. Yeah, one or two more. What's hot? Hot USD. Holo. That's for Metin. What's up, Metin? Yeah, I don't. All right, let's go left. HOT USD. All right, there you go. Okay, I like that. Do you have the software, man? Because that's a great spot. Now, there's something that I can really look at and consider, because there's the type 1, basically at 1/10 of a cent, and another with these like the type 1 reactions that go to target 2s with a pattern. Didn't spend much time up there, but then rejected. Really amazing. The thing that has me here, though, and I'll look at this, is that's the first dot retesting the 165 level. And what was that, 2 or 3 days ago? Yeah, there's the oversold signal, and then there's the retest at around 1.5. And where's HSI? Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, this has got more of what I've been trying to get at with some of these that are still early. Look, you've got your dot, you got your T2, you're above the 50. About the only thing that I would really think needs to happen, get that another bullish candle. I mean, we could go sideways in this really tight range, and then maybe you have something. That's more along the lines of, following kind of step by step of how it has to come together. That's pretty close. What's weekly look like? There you go. Okay, weekly is oversold. This is another one, and I strongly recommend to check the weekly reference point, because that weekly inflected. It hit oversold last week, and now it's coming back up. Not all is lost, but I think we're early. Let me show you guys something that I posted a while back. This is OX0X0AI, where we have a number of patterns. I was saying, look for this around 15 with confirmation. We don't have any confirmation. And I know I talked about this, I think it was last Tuesday, where 11.9, it's 2 or 3 patterns down here. Around, 11.9 cents. It's 12.7. That's a beautiful specimen for harmonic patterns. Absolutely. The number of patterns there, defining that level generally around 12 cents, that's a big deal too. What's weekly look like? Did we get oversold there? Almost. What's the other pair? Not totally. But I like a lot of things that are unfolding in this area. Maybe we just come back to that. It needs a few more days. I like that. Jonathan. Okay, thank you for sending that DM, and we will get you set up, of course, after the show. Yeah, let's jump over some stocks. And Chris, why don't we save Dog with Hat for Thursday? That's just another one that needs confirmation. And they're all in a spot where they have big patterns. We're waiting for confirmation and maybe another couple of days or even a week or two of development. Let's start with stocks, and let's start with the big one of Tesla. And I think Tesla's got all the sauce we ever want to see in understanding what harmonic patterns are all about. And I've been really clear. I was super clear last summer and last fall about how important this area was, 220, and then after earnings, it just sailed through 280. And then, I mean, a lot of people were fanboying this, and they should. I mean, no doubt, Tesla's, long term, Tesla's going to be one that you're going to want to ride for the rest of the decade, but at the right price. And our next price finally came to us today. We've been talking about really Tesla for a while up here, well above 400. It was 420, 430, looking for the move to target one. Right now, trading 332, down 18 and a half bucks. Beautiful, right? Everything with Tesla, especially for new folks, I really want you to go through this. And let me go through step by step of why this is so critical and why that's such a beautiful example of what harmonic patterns are all about, where we know Tesla's a company you want to be accumulating, again, at the right prices. But we also recognize this deep crab with a big impulsive 1618 was to be digested. What's the only thing that happened? It took several weeks for that to unfold to get to 340, but we never wavered. What's the other thing about it? Here we go. All right, harmonic strength index was under the 50 level all the way back here. And what was that? End of December, it cracked the 50. And we have been slowly making our way to the oversold. All right, now we're at the level. And I, again, want to be super clear. 340 is not the buy point. It's a starting point, but it's not the buy point. Here you go. What should we be looking for? Well, we know this is deeply oversold, but we're going to need the week to give you the inflection necessary before we even look at it and consider it. It's going to have to come out and do it early. I mean, look at the last time we've been oversold. That was all the way down here. What was that? January 24. We got oversold. We came out, and we still took several weeks till we had a dot and a retest. And then the final piece of cracking above the 50. And that happened where initial signal was what? February 12, like a year ago. But where was the real acceleration point? That was not until April. You guys get this? Really important, because once you do understand how that works and you put that together, you're then positioning yourself in the optimal spot for the opportunity, especially for something with like call options where, people have asked me recently, okay, is it time to buy calls on Tesla? And they know it's way too early, and that time premium will eat you up, especially if it continues to move lower. 340, that's a starting point. We need to see that confirmation and, draw the window. It's a beauty. There's others we have mentioned previously. I'll get to a few stocks and then we'll look at the indices, but think of it that way. Like, that's the window now where we expect this reaction to end somewhere in this vicinity. We know that. That's the T1 framework. All right. And what we expect after that happens is, yeah, we're looking for the return move back to retest the pattern. But it's about avoiding drawdown. So 332, you're down 1870. Full acceleration is happening. I've been posting about this on X frequently. And with all of that, great. That's a big, a really big skill set that if you're able to identify that and recognize, hey, yeah, that isn't a type 1 reaction, and I need to wait, and I need to let it signal something at target before I can anticipate the return. I think if you can get there as a trader, you have successfully framed out price action, and you have a heck of a lot better clue of what to be anticipating. With all of that, now I break it down. Give me 4-hour pattern. Anything down here? Anything down here? There's RTH extended trading hours. Anything here? 4-hour. Oh, look, it's a bat. Almost at the hop level. Right, that might be something. We start looking. We still need the weekly to set us up, but we break down the time frame. There is a pattern down there. 340 was the weekly, 4 hours like there, 328. Maybe take a peek at the daily. What's there at the daily? Oversold. Now we're oversold. Okay, still early, hitting oversold today, but we need that to come out. Needed to finish that inflection. We need that to get out. So I'll be looking at Tesla every day. I usually am, but we have hit target, and now we want to see how far this will drop below there. I'm in this window. Maybe that's even too much, like that. All right, couple more. I want to show you guys something. I know I mentioned this a while back. Baba and Baidu. Really, they did a big moves recently. And remember, Baba was weekly and monthly. There's the weekly. Now hitting resistance, but we're still, look, Baba's got a long way to go. Okay, within this lower range, we're probably hitting the upper limit. But monthly on Baba, that's an interesting scenario. So those Chinese stocks, I think finally after many years, might be coming back. Obviously, people throwing money at them. Big, beautiful crab down there at 77. And we talked about this cracking the 50. What was that? That was like June of last year. And then there's amplified August. So now acceleration 113. I'm not saying jump on it now. In fact, I would be waiting for a pullback opportunity, but longer term, 157 on Baba is a big one. Yeah. Who is that? What's up, Super Don? Nike on the weekly? Yeah, we were, I think in our group this morning, we were looking at that. Nike's like this. Weekly on Nike. That's been a long downtrend. And it is a big bat. Really, the bat is more of it's an ugly 886 retracement off of the COVID low. Imagine that. Did a massive move to, what's that, 175. We were as low, was that 65? 68 last week. Okay, it had an initial dot. I agree with you. And the second dot that you're referencing, I agree. Why didn't this work the first time? Is we had the 886 reaction, and then we ran right into that HSI signal. This would be the second opportunity. And I like it. Listen, you have HSI, it triggered. Check out HSI down here. Gave you the inflection. It popped out. Okay, and the other thing that's a little different is the simple fact that we're getting above the 50. This could very well be a critical low for Nike under 73.58. We will get a dot. We get a bullish candle this week, a bullish candle next week. Then I would say it's an official go. But that's probably, that's 2 weeks from yesterday before that would officially be considered an opportunity. But a great one, great long-term one. But that's how we stack it. I mean, putting all of that together, pretty interesting. Really quick, look, you guys know what I've been saying on the Qs for a long time. It's like this. The daily, still bearish butterfly. Hop level 535. Like, what's going on? Why isn't the market breaking out and doing the mass move? Because we're stuck in this pattern zone. I've been basically saying I would love to see a target one pullback to 487, where we just got confirmation here last week, and that's 534. So we would need to check that back. It's not ready to go. I mean, that's the first sign of confirmation. Up here, that's just reaction territory. I mean, that was a strong one, December into early January, but now that would be the bigger thing. Can we retest that? We got a holiday on Monday, so I expect them to have a little upside pressure into the end of the week. Like people that want to get long, they're going to get long before President's Day weekend. But we're still looking for that confirmation. What's the high on that? 532.76 to be exact. Excuse me, 533.79. Call it 534. Market has not, it's not exploding. It is digesting this larger pattern, and that's okay. I would love to see, I still do. I would love to have like another August shakeout move down to target one. I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's what I'm waiting on. I'm not long. I'm long a few things, but I'm sitting on a chunk of cash waiting to deploy it at the right prices. Couple other things at the right prices. And some boring stuff like Coca-Cola. Nice up, 242. And here's another one where it did the type 1 and gave you the dot. Hold on, let me get this right. Weekly dot. This is a lot like Tesla. And I know I've covered this previously. Guys, the strategies, the methodology, the step-by-step framework assessments are the same. Okay, I know we identified Coca-Cola a while ago. Coke, great long-term winner, forever stock in a forever uptrend, but again, at the right price. Up here is 72, 73.30, and then it had to digest the 1618, so check that out. Got hit target 1. This is so much like Tesla. Then we get the HSI, and there is the dot for the final confirmation to say reaction over. Let's go, and let's return it back up here. Now we're getting overbought pretty soon, but the fact that Coke, it was like 3 weeks ago, crossed the 50 line, and then 2 weeks ago with Amplified, that's the exact kind of thing. Like if we're positioning ourselves for those two things to happen, we can then expect the acceleration of this move. I think it goes back, you find yourself on the retest at 73.30, but as an ideal candidate for what harmonic patterns are all about, what Tesla's going through, it's all there. Yeah, that was good. Andrew's looking for 552 on the Qs. If you get above 537, sure. But we're still contained. We're still in a reaction type 1 environment. Like, again, I'll say this where you day trade it. It's a day trading environment. It's not a trending environment right now. CHPT, is that charge point? What's that? I can't do anything with that. Who said that? Kingpin. What's up, Kingpin? No, I can't really do anything with that. There's too many good stocks out there. I'd rather have you buy Coca-Cola at the market right now than put a single dollar into that. And even if that did a massive turnaround, I'm just not playing with that. Intel, we talked about Intel before. It's what it's doing here is this big weekly, monthly type 2 crab, 2083. It's got to get off the floor though. I mean, it's been disappointing. I'm long it, but what's different now is that, hey, you're cracking above the 50. Maybe it has a chance. Maybe that could be the point. I would need to see this thing do a follow-through move next week. Really critical. One or two more. APPS, those are those AI stocks, right? Digital Turbine. A nice percentage move. What's that? December's $1.48, now $5.50. Do we have anything though? Any patterns looking left? Even on the daily? I can't chase that. I mean, that's just, that's a nice chart. There you go. It was a crab at the low. I'm still not a fan of the low floaters, but if you're long that, great for you. I mean, there you go. Guys, harmonic pattern framework. Like type 1, reaction. And that's a great move. That's a great trade. But where we can expect big things, target 2, software printing it. I haven't looked at this thing. I don't think I've ever looked at this thing. But there's the T2, HSI, dot. And then get above the 50. I mean, look, we crack above the 50 on amplified. That was back in December, right before the move began. That's what I'm talking about. We will talk about that course in the course. Yeah, listen, guys, get over to harmonictrader.com. Okay, if you're not with the software, send your TradingView username to hpc@sr-analyst.com and get with a basic membership to start with looking at the materials. We will also send you videos and stuff. Let's do one more 30-day package, HPC 30, and you'll get 30 days including gold membership, which looks like this. Just to give you guys the example of what we got here, all the videos and our live sessions. Check all that out. Monthly report, 3 ideas, weekly gold member, and that gets you set up with everything. Chris S., you win. Chris S. Chris, here's the Discord link. Okay, hit me up on there. That definitely works. Our first winner was able to get that. We'll set you up with 30 days of the software and the gold membership so you guys can see what we do. We got a great group in there. I really appreciate that crew, and they all know what they're doing. So especially for new folks that want to learn, you do it with the software, you do it with everything that we have discussed, and these examples like Tesla, Coca-Cola, those are the opportunities we can define and have a really solid idea of where it's going within the framework. Before I get out of here, I gotta say gold. Gold, guys. Gold is just amazing, and I want to give it a shout out. Okay, I'm looking for 3,000 on gold. Here you go. What is it? Well, we're well above the 1618. It's a massive expansion. Top end is 3,400. The bigger point here is that, and I say this for Bitcoin and for people looking for Bitcoin to do what it needs to do. Hits the 1618 right there. And that was back in May, around 2,500, a digestion move, and then the breakout, where we could then look for bigger things like the 2618. But that's standard harmonic pattern framework. Okay, and I think a lot of new people here do not realize the significance of the specific harmonic levels. It defines a character in the trend. All right, take that to heart. Gold continues. Now, there is one thing that's interesting right now, a little crab pattern, 29.34. We were at 29.50 today. Wow. And here's another, okay, maybe we do some digestion consolidation here. But the bigger weekly numbers and what we have talked about on gold for more than a year continues to just build day over day, week over week. And that's all harmonic pattern framework. And that's huge. Listen, we'll get into more of it on Thursday. Again, hit subscribe and like on the way out if you like what's going on here. Any questions, hit me on that Discord, all right? Hey, Technic analysis, we'll deal with, bring your other ideas on Thursday, okay? That's what I have for today, folks. Appreciate all of you. I'm glad you guys all showed up and we made it. Thanks again. Any other questions?